Hey everyone, and welcome to Farnsworth's Pants. Farnsworth's Pants is a old school long form improv team that's been together for more years than any of us care to count. But honestly, it's like close to 14 years now. And we're going to be working off of a suggestion that came to our suggestion box on the e-mprov website. Put on the website to ask for suggestions regarding what's being done incorrectly with the website, but is being used instead by, I think, rude people who have heard me say this multiple times. Rude people insist on sending improv suggestions through this device, through this technology. We'll use one of their suggestions tonight. That suggestion that I looked at earlier is Houseplant, and so begins Farnsworth's Pants set.
We don't have a lot of houseplants in our house, but we did once upon a time because they were practice organisms for us to care for. When my wife and I first got married, we in fact filled our house with our apartment then with plants everywhere, and I think that they were sort of our first baby step toward trying to figure out if we could sustain life other than our own in a domestic environment. And most of the plants died. But we moved up anyway, and we got a dog. And then the dog was our test case to see, okay, well, so can we sustain some kind of animal life in a domestic scenario? And we got the dog when we'd only been married 5 or 6 years, and she was a terrible dog. We loved her a lot. We love her a lot. In fact, she survived. She has survived, and she lives to this day. And so we had kids, but I've noticed that as we've stepped up each step, our affection for the creature that came before evaporates instantly when we acquire the next thing. So we loved our plants. Then we got fish for a while, and when we loved the fish and we hated the plants, then we got a dog and the fish died, and we were like, whatever, we don't give a shit about those fish. And then we loved the dog and treated her like a baby, and then we got kids. I guess we had kids. We didn't get them. We had kids, but the instant our daughter was born, all affection that we once had for our dog, our beloved dog, evaporated in an instant. And we no longer, and the dog who had once meant everything to us, so that we would sing to her on the bed long songs we made up about how much we loved her ears and fur. She transformed from this creature who was the center of our existence to this thing that was always like desiring attention and then needing to poop outside literally like twice a day. And she became very frustrating, and now our kids are older, our dog is very old, and our kids ask things like, well, when Dora, that's our dog, when Dora dies, what kind of new dog are we going to get? And we say, we're not going to get a new dog. Instead, we're going to get something better than kids. And when we get that thing that's better than kids, we won't care about you anymore, children.
I don't have any. I don't own any houseplants at all. My mom has a lot of houseplants in her home, but I never have. But the most vivid thing that the word houseplant brings to mind is it has to do with a plant, not a houseplant, I suppose, but a plant outside of a grocery store. When I was a kid, and my little sister was very young at this point. She was probably younger than 5, I think. And we were in a grocery store with my mom, and as we were leaving, my sister pointed out to me there was a candy display in the store that was like a pick and mix, like you weigh by the you take the scoop and you weigh your candy. It was Brock's was the brand, BRACH apostrophe S, I think apostrophe S, Brock's candy, and my sister had like taken a bunch of it and just put it in her pockets because she was just a little kid. She just thought, oh, there's candy. She took a bunch of it, and I remember freaking out and thinking she was going to get in huge trouble. But I I freaked her out, and I basically told her, like, you're gonna go to prison for taking this candy unless you let me deal with it. Like, I will get us out of this. And I was probably maybe like, I was younger than 10, and I was young enough that I genuinely thought, like, if she got caught with all this stolen candy, that she would be in big trouble. But I think there was a part of me that maybe was also trying to scare her. But I took all the candy from her, and I ran to one of where they had, like, potted plants outside that were, like, there's a permanent fixture, like a brick fixture that has plants that's just, like, out there in the parking lot. And I dumped all the candy in where these plants are. And then for years, I would use this against my sister, and I would say, like, whenever I needed it for leverage, I would say, like, don't make me tell people about the candy you stole, because I had that over her.
Honey, come here. Look at this.
Oh, what have you got there?
Look at our ficus tree. Do you remember yesterday I dropped a Skittle accidentally? Maybe you don't remember. There's no reason you would necessarily remember that happened.
I remember.
I was eating those Skittles.
I remember you eating Skittles.
Right. I don't think I remember to give you any. I love Skittles, but I dropped one and I couldn't find it. Do you remember me crawling around, being like, "Where the fuck is the Skittle?"
I remember dropping a few hints that I also enjoy Skittles, but I do remember you didn't offer me, and then I have to admit I was a little cross with you. I sort of tuned you out after that. I remember you fussing about at one point. But
it was because I dropped the Skittle and I
see. Yeah.
And I remember now that you seemed distant, a little. You seemed upset.
Because I like Skittles.
Yeah.
Quite a bit, you know.
I apologize.
And that was a large bag. That wasn't an individual bag of Skittles. That was like a party-sized bag.
Right. Well, that's as you know, that's the size I buy each morning at the bodega.
I know.
On my Skittles run. But the point is, honey, that our problems with Skittles are solved because do you know where the Skittle went? It fell into the soil in the ficus plant. And look at it. Look at the plant.
Wow. These are new little blossoms on the plant.
Have you smelled the blossoms?
No, I haven't.
Just give them a whiff. Give them a whiff.
They smell sweet, sugary. It's a sweet, sugary smell.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, honey, you're not suggesting that this has something to do with the Skittle? That would be a.
I'm not suggesting it, sweetie. The ficus is suggesting it. The ficus is blooming with something that is going to bring us closer together. It's going to end our struggles over what is mine and what is yours. Because now this is ours. And it's creating beautiful life for us every day, life that we can pluck or eat.
Yeah, well, I'll admit this is a fascinating development, but we've never struggled. You buy a large bag of Skittles every day. This is fascinating from a scientific point of view. But even now, you're eating all of the Skittles from the Skittle tree. The situation.
Oh, no, sweetie. Please have. Hold on. There's a bud. There's a little bud here.
Yeah.
Here you go. Open up. Open up.
It's a little. It doesn't look right.
It's just a Skittle. I'm sure it's delicious. Here.
Okay. Yeah. It's a little tart. It's a little tart.
When they're not ripe yet, I'm sure that they're like that. But the ones on the top of the ficus they're so good.
We should call a scientific journal about this. This does feel like, honey, I don't feel like we should. I feel like if we eat all the Skittles off of the tree, it might damage the plant.
But they grew so fast. I'm sure that it'll just grow more Skittles tomorrow.
We're making a lot of assumptions about something that we don't understand. This is new. Neither of us are botanists.
No, well, I know a lot about Skittles.
Yes.
Do you remember when I went to the Skittles factory?
Yeah, I know no one who knows more Skittles trivia than you. As
I took that trip to the Skittles factory on vacation last year.
Yes.
It's
I would have loved to
It's
have
the
been
big
included.
factory at the end of the rainbow.
I have to say, I mean, we're hashing a lot of things out here, but I'm still a little bit upset that you didn't invite me along.
Oh, honey, that was me time.
You refer to it as your vacation.
It was just my way of getting away from everything, from work and from our arguments about Skittles at home.
Hurts my feelings. I feel like it could have been a healing moment if we'd gone to the Skittles factory and we'd each enjoyed the trip. That could have been a healing moment. What might have gone right to the core of our issues.
No, you're right. I apologize, sweetie.
No, you've damaged this plant beyond repair.
What? No.
We cut away from this sad scene where this plant may be damaged beyond repair, and we bounced down a few houses down the block that this couple lives on to a babysitter arriving for a shift. Thank you so much for coming over. Thank you so much for being here. It's just a relief to get a little time away from Timmy.
Oh, I bet. No problem. I really appreciate the gig.
Sure, of course, you've got to hustle, right?
I mean, it's hard, there's only so many, kids who still need or want babysitters nowadays, so I mean, there's a lot of competition. There's so many of us that are all, in 10th grade, and we're all just trying to get our little piece of the cheese.
Huh. Oh, you really are serious about it.
Oh, yes. I mean, I know that you used some of my friends, Hillary and Haley, and I'm sure that they were great, but, they have social lives, they're really popular, and that means that they're not always available.
How do you know that I hired Hillary, and how do you know that?
Well, I mean, they babysit, they've had gigs, when they bring their bikes back, they don't seem very worn. So I figure it's not that far of a ride to their gig.
Wow.
But anyway, the thing is that I am a complete outcast. Like, nobody at school likes me. And that means I am free every Friday night. I'm always free on Saturday nights. And in fact, my mother would prefer that I be out of the house every Saturday night if possible. So a gig would be really great on Saturday nights. And then Sundays, I usually have, homework, but I would drop anything for, a sitting charge. So,
I think I might just pay you and not go out. I might just stay home with Timmy tonight, after all. I'll pay you. I'll pay you what we agreed on, and you can leave.
Why are you trying to starve me?
Honey, why are you home so early? I thought you had a babysitting gig.
Happened again, Mom. It happened again.
Again, another? They just didn't want you to spend time with their children?
No, all of a sudden, this big, symphony orchestra concert thing that they had tickets for weeks suddenly got canceled or something. Stupid idiot.
I'm happy to keep talking about your feelings with you, but could you just maybe go into the kitchen while I stand in the living room and we'll have this conversation that way? I just would prefer not to be in this room with you.
No, I know. I mean, I'm not supposed to be here. It's Saturday night. I mean, I'm sorry. Damn it, it's just, I was so good. I mean, I had my coloring books. I was so ready to put new accented spins on all of those books in their library. I was like...
I know you worked on the CPR too, right? The child CPR?
Duh. I mean, I try to CPR everybody, even if they don't need it, because I just want to make sure that I get the right pressure right.
Honey, I just feel like you and I should maybe have you talk to someone about how no one likes you at all, including any adults or children at your school or anyone or your own mother.
Well, I once, when Grandma told me that, like, some pearls are different shape, but that makes them more special. I mean, that's true. I'm a different shaped pearl.
But Grandma doesn't like you either.
Well, that was only because I got upset when she said she didn't want to see me anymore. But she was joking, but then I took it too far. I took it too far again.
Honey, I don't know how to tell you this. I just want to be straight with you. No one, your unpopularity isn't because of people getting together and saying, let's just make her an outcast. It's because just none of us like you at all. I feel terrible about it. I'm your mother. I'm supposed to love you. But I can't even be in the same room with you. There's something off-putting about you, and I wish we could get to the bottom of it. I don't know. I don't understand what it is, but maybe if you talk to someone, a counselor, someone who can dig into this, maybe they can solve your problem, because God knows I can't stand to be in the same room with you long enough to even think about it.
See, I don't want to go... I feel like I'm in a hole, but I feel like if I'm going back up the hole, it's just going to be seeing all the stuff that makes me down in the first place. I feel like I got to go further down the hole and see where that leads. I've been reading this book on Bob Dylan, and I'm not very far in it. He was born, but I feel like at some point, like, he probably encountered something really tough that made him, as great as he is.
You've read up to his birth?
We cut to a bookstore where there's a book signing. Who should I make this out to?
Randy Salazar.
Oh, did you say Ramby?
Yeah, Randy Salazar. That's my grandfather. He's a big fan. He's confined to his home. He couldn't make it here tonight, but huge fan. Loves the whole Queen's Gambit, theory and series, and he's all into it. He's seen the movies. He's hoping they would come out with number 3. He's a great guy, great fan.
This is your grandfather?
Yeah. Randy Salazar is just, if you could just say something like, I know you want to be here, or just something about like how he's been immobilized at home, like recognized as a civilization.
You want me to say something about how he's been immobilized?
Well, I mean, I know, like, you deal with so many. I mean, I haven't read, I haven't read your books, but Grampy, or as I call him, Grampy, he's really into your stuff, and he tells me all about how a lot of the secondary characters are like people who have things to overcome. They're like there was a guy who was in a wheelchair in the second one.
Yeah, most of my secondary characters have some kind of physical disability that limits their movement. It's kind of a theme in my work. The main characters are able-bodied characters, but the secondary characters often are missing limbs, or I think the character I'm maybe proudest of is a man who had a pipe impale him. Doctors couldn't figure out how to get the pipe out, and so.
Whoa! Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, thank God they made the movie of that one. I mean, that was compelling when they couldn't get the pipe out of him. They were like, "Oh
you
my
saw
God!"
That? No.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely seen the movies. You kidding me? I'm crazy about the movies. We watch the movies like probably like 35 times. He's
Oh
got
my gosh! Well, it's low distribution, so I never know. The books are popular for books, but
Bob,
the movies are low distribution events.
Bob, as your agent, I feel like I really want to talk to you about this new novel. You've got this amazing character.
Right.
He's got a pipe sticking through him,
Mm-hmm.
but he's just a bit part.
Yeah.
And he only appears in about a chapter and a half.
Right, right.
Your main character is completely able-bodied, but unbelievably boring.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've got something to spice it up. I was doing some rewrites last night.
Okay, I mean, so have you maybe taken one of those subsidiary characters who are so lively and interesting and fascinating, and maybe make the story, it's their story, right? Maybe not the hero.
Let me pitch you what I'm thinking. Okay?
Sure.
The main character meets a woman on a visit to a small town park. Okay, and they did something. There's like something about it. They just like sort of like hit it off, right? And they start to date. Things get interesting, so they go back to her place, and she's like slipping into something more comfortable. Her head gets stuck in her bureau, and it's like she can't move around nearly
Her head
as much.
stuck?
Yeah, she gets
Completely
her head
stuck. Like she opened the drawer and then put her head into it and then closed the drawer onto her head.
Yeah. Well, we don't know why what happened. She was fine in one part of the chapter, and then Drew comes in and finds her with her head stuck in the cabinet, and he can't make out. She's trying to tell him what happened, but he can't make it out. So
her voice is muffled because it's in the cabinet.
It's the sock drawer, so
yeah,
a lot of sound absorbing.
I mean, I feel like I can sell this. So it's her story, the story of her triumphs and her ability to get out of this sock drawer. And
that's like about maybe 7 pages in a 600-page book. But it's a spark, It's a spike of.
But Bob, I can sell triumph over a sock drawer. I can sell triumph over a pipe through your body.
Right.
But I can't sell a guy who just walks around and then whoever he sees, something horrible happens to him and then become disabled.
How do you explain the movies, though?
People went to that movie because of the pipe, Bob.
Yeah.
Then when they came out and you asked them who's the main character, they said it's the guy with the pipe. You didn't notice that your main character in the abridgment of your novel didn't appear anywhere in the movie?
I noticed. It hurt. That hurt. What if I add in a character who shows up every once in a while, who has like a psychological issue, and he keeps a cat in his shirt? That's like a really interesting idea to me. To me, that's a really interesting idea.
That sounds great. I would read a whole novel about that guy.
No, just a couple of references is all I would do, because I don't want to overdo it. You know what I mean? I want to go to the well too much. God, you know what? I don't think we're getting along. I don't know if you can represent me anymore. I want to keep my interesting characters short and sweet. Get on board. Get on board this gravy train.
Look, I understand, Bob, your feelings. The fact remains that your novels sell. There are lines at your readings. So in this, I have to agree that maybe in this case, all of my years of literary training are leading me in the wrong direction. So let's agree to disagree on this one, and I'll take this book out. We'll see what publishers say. We'll see if editors agree with you or with me, but
the new book that I'm writing, the new one that I'm working on,
yeah,
the interesting character is never even referenced in the book.
Well, who is he?
You never find out. The characters are affected by the interesting character outside the scope of what's written in the book.
Are there even any words on the pages, Bob?
Yeah, there's a lot of words. It's a description of what seems to be very normal, the uneventful existence of a insurance claims adjuster who feels pretty good about himself.
Could we at least put the interesting character maybe on the cover?
No. No, it's important that people not be sure if the character exists.
All right, guys, just a quick family meeting, sweetie, kids. Got a little announcement. This maybe I don't know if I'm doing this, going about this the right way. I think we all sensed that this day was coming. I think I've been pretty upfront about it.
What day, Daddy? What day?
I finally cracked it. I have moved on to my next big thing. I just want to say it's been great. The past few years raising you kids with you, Charlotte. I feel like this has been sort of the most important thing to me. But we all knew that at a certain point I was gonna, looking for that next big thing. So I have made my own child, not a biological child, certainly, but I have done it by myself, and this is where my priority is now. This is the thing that I love. I have made a robot child, and it's this is something that Charlotte, you and I made these children together, and I always felt like there was an element of compromise to that. That was something beautiful about it. But now I've made my own child. It's just my own, and it's just more. This is more like what I want to focus on now is loving it and caring for
But
it.
Daddy, you still love me, right?
I can feel love for you, but I can also feel that love starting to dissipate. Like each new feeling I
Jordan,
feel.
what the hell? I thought whenever we moved on from, the kids that we were going to do it together.
Yeah, I thought so too. This did take me by surprise somewhat. But you have showed not the same interest in robotics that I sort of feel like the early stages of this bored you, and I figured, okay, that's fine, that's your choice. I figured you were content, and so I've sort of been pursuing this. You're busy. You're always, taking the kids places, bathing them, feeding them. And I really feel like you haven't put in the hours. And so in a way, I sort of felt like, well, does Charlotte really deserve to be a part of this initiative? And I kind of came down on the side of no. What?
Mommy, if Daddy doesn't want to be with us anymore, does that mean that we're going to spend more time with other Daddy?
No, he said he didn't want to be with you. You got to hold on. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to end up in this scenario just yet, but I just want to make sure that you understand the difference between us and you.
Charlotte, I do.
Okay.
That is a fair point. Although I do the affection that I have felt for you, I do feel that starting to dissipate. Like I am really starting to just channel most of my serious emotion towards Owen 3000.
See, Jordan, this isn't fair. You never gave me a chance to really like robotics. When you said we're going to try to go.
Owen's in sleep mode. I'm going to turn him on. Hold on. You just turn him on with a little button.
Pizza.
Hey, hey, Owen.
Owen?
3000.
Pizza.
Oh, you want pizza?
Pizza.
Ah, that's his favorite food. Owen's favorite food is pizza. I made a pizza slot that's just for pizza.
Hi, Owen. I'm your brother.
No, not really, Owen.
We have the same daddy, Owen.
Half brother.
Consume pizza.
Yeah, you like this pizza? Here you go.
He seems really great, Daddy.
Owen is great. He's my best boy.
This is just going back. I mean, before we had Charlotte, we had a dog that you only fed pizza to.
That's right. I'm
embarrassed.
embarrassed.
And then you tried to feed Charlotte pizza, but then we realized that she was lactose intolerant, so we can't feed her that. You just want to feed pizza to things?
Yeah, I do. I do like it. It's nice. I mean, I like having pizza, and it's nice to love something that loves the same things that you love. And so to be able to share that is really great.
Daddy, I love pizza.
Oh, Owen, I love you too. And I love pizza too, and I love giving you pizza.
Cut to a restaurant. A waiter is approaching the table. Hey, guys, is everything okay? Is everything good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, I brought the scale. So, sir, if you would like to just step on the scale first, we'll see how much you've consumed, and then we'll know how much to charge you.
All right. Okay. There we go.
All right. Well, I have your weight pre-dining at 174.2, and I see that you have consumed, it looks like 2.7 pounds of food. Great. Great. Okay, ma'am. Would you like to step on the scale? Great. Okay. Ma'am, something seems wrong. It seems like you've lost 1.5 pounds since you walked into the restaurant.
Babe, what's up?
Did you visit our restroom over the course of the meal, miss?
I mean, I might have visited once, but it's really hot in here. I mean, I don't know. I'm sweating. I'm sweating pounds.
Babe,
Well, that's certainly something I can talk to the manager about. But, ma'am, I'm going to need to just know the approximate time of your visit to the restroom so we can measure anything that happened in there. We just need to know how much we do actually need to charge you for this meal.
Wait, whoa.
How much he had?
Yeah, no, if any, I mean, that's gone. That's just gone.
Well, we have a number of ways of measuring the volume and weight of material that goes through the pipes in our restaurant. It's just a standard practice here at Brock's.
If she's less than when she came in, you owe us money, man.
You know, a lot of people try and make that claim, but we actually, if you'll notice on the menu, we have a note right under the note about consuming shellfish or consuming undercooked meats that, in fact, we are not responsible for any underages, and there's always a minimum 1.5 pound charge. Would you like to speak to my manager? I'd be happy to.
I would love it.
I'll be right back. Thank you.
Babe, we're going to deal with this.
Just pay.
No.
This is so embarrassing.
No. Listen. What? You want to tell me what happened?
Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
I understand there's a problem at this table.
Yeah, my wife weighs less than when she came in, so...
You know, I brought her 7 cheeseburgers, Billy, and none of the cheeseburgers are there anymore. It is true that on the scale she's 1 pound less, but, you know, the cheeseburgers went somewhere, Billy.
All right, so you're not going to get off scot-free with this, all right?
I'm not trying to get away with anything.
Let me tell you what's going to happen here, all right? And you're not going to be happy when you hear what's going to happen, all right? I'm going to march myself into the bathroom. I'm going to go into the sewage line. I'm going to find your waste, and then I will weigh it, and you will pay the amount of money associated with how much that waste weighs. And it will take me a long time.
Hey. It just seems like the basic thing that I said, except for you said it louder.
I'm pretty pissed about it.
Do you have a comment card?
Yeah.
We do. It weighs 0.1 ounces, and you will be charged for consuming that.
I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to eat the comment card.
Right, but you are holding it, and therefore you weigh 1/10 of an ounce more than you did upon entering this restaurant.
All right. Well, can I use your bathroom?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sure.
All right. I'm going to go fill this out in the bathroom.
We're not animals. I swear to God.
I'm going with him to the bathroom.
And hey, what are you following me? You following
me? I'm just here in the bathroom, just keeping an eye on things.
All right. You know, I got some pretty harsh things to say about this place. This place is called Pay What You Weigh.
Yeah, it's Brock's Pay What You Weigh.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, we'll call our show. It's Brock's Pay What You Weigh. This is what Brock's created. Well,
we're exploring new technologies.
New technologies and new ways of new charging methods. Well, thanks for everyone who's tuning in to watch Farnsworth's Pants. Please bear in mind that the previous sets that happened tonight are still up, and you can watch those for a good number of hours. And this was Connor Ratliff, Dan Coys, Birch Harms, and Risa Harms. Thank you so much for playing, everyone, and thank you for watching.